Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Sahih Al-Bukhari, the book of faith or belief. Hadith number 47. Narrated by Abu Hurairah radiyallahu ta'ala anhu that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, a believer who accompanies the funeral procession of a Muslim out of sincere faith and hoping to attain Allah's reward and remains with it till the funeral prayer is offered and the burial ceremonies are over, he will return with the reward of 2 qirats. Each qirat is like the size of the mountain of Uhud. He who offers the funeral prayer only and returns before the burial will return with the reward of 1 qirat only. Hadith number 48. Narrated by Abdullah radiyallahu anhu, the Prophet said, abusing a Muslim is fisq and evil doing, and killing him is kufr, disbelief. Hadith number 49. Narrated by Ubadah bin As-Samit radiyallahu anhu that Rasulullah went out to inform the people about the date of the night of decree Al-Qadr. But there happened a quarrel between 2 Muslim men. The Prophet said, I came out to inform you about the date of the night of Al-Qadr, but it's so and so and so and so were fighting, so its knowledge was taken away. I forgot it, and maybe it was better for you. Now look for it in the days of 27th, 29th, and 25th of the last 10 nights of the month of Ramadan. Hadith number 50. Narrated by Abu Hurairah that one day while the Prophet ﷺ was sitting in the company of some people, then a man came and asked, what is faith? Rasulullah ﷺ replied, faith is to believe in Allah, His angels, the meeting with Him, His Rasul, and to believe in resurrection. Then he further asked, what is Islam? Rasulullah ﷺ replied, to worship Allah alone and none else, to offer prayer perfectly, to pay the compulsory charity zakat, and to observe fasts during the month of Ramadan. Then that man further asked, what is ihsan, perfection? Rasulullah replied, to worship Allah as if you see Him, and if you cannot achieve the state of devotion, then you must consider that He is looking at you. Then that man further asked, when will be the hour established? Rasulullah replied, the answerer has no better knowledge than the questioner, but I will inform you about its importance. When a slave lady gives birth to her master, and when the shepherds of back camels start boasting and competing with others in the construction of higher buildings, and the hour is one of 5 things, which nobody knows except Allah. The Prophet ﷺ then recited, verily with Allah alone is the knowledge of the hour. Then that man left, and the Prophet ﷺ asked his companions to call him back, but they could not find him. Then the Prophet ﷺ said, that was Jibreel who came to teach the people their religion. Abu Abdullah said that the Prophet ﷺ considered all that is a part of faith. Hadith number 51. Narrated by Abdullah bin Abbas anhu that I was informed by Abu Sufyan anhu that Heracles said to him, I asked you whether the followers of Muhammad were increasing or decreasing. You replied that they were increasing, and in fact this is the way of true faith till it is complete in all respects. I further asked you whether there was anybody who, after embracing the Prophet's religion, Islam, became displeased and discarded it. You replied in the negative, and in fact, this is a sign of true faith. When its delight enters the heart and it mixes with them completely, then nobody can be displeased with it. Hadith number 52. Narrated by An-Nu'man bin Bashir that I heard Rasulullah saying that both halal and haram, example legal and illegal things, are evident, but in between them both are doubtful, suspicious things, and most of the people have no knowledge about them. So whoever saves himself from these suspicious things saves his religion and his honor. And whoever indulges in these suspicious things is like shepherd who grazes his animals near the hema or private place of someone else. At any moment he is liable to get into it. O people, beware, every king has a hema, and the hema of Allah on the earth is his illegal forbidden things. Beware, there is a piece of flesh in the body. If it becomes good, the whole body becomes good. But if it gets spoiled, the whole body gets spoiled. And that is the hurt. Hadith number 53. Narrated by Abu Jamrah radiallahu ta'ala anhu, I used to sit with Ibn Abbas radiallahu ta'ala anhu, and he made me sit on his sitting place. He requested me to stay with him in order that he might give me a share from his property. So I stayed with him for 2 months. Once he told me that when the delegation of the tribe of Dhul Qais came to the Prophet ﷺ, the Prophet ﷺ asked them, "Who are the people, or who are the delegate?" They replied, "We are from the tribe of Rabia." Then the Prophet ﷺ said to them, "Welcome, O people, or O delegation of Dhul Qais. Neither will you have this disgrace nor will you regret." They said, "O Rasulullah ﷺ, we cannot come to you except in the sacred month, and there is the infidel tribe of Mudar intervening between you and us. So please order us to do something good, religious deeds, so that we may inform our people whom we have left behind at home, and that we may enter paradise by acting on them." Then they asked about drinks, what is legal and what is illegal. The Prophet ﷺ ordered them to do 4 things and forbade them from 4 things. He ordered them to believe in Allah alone and asked them, "Do you know what is meant by believing in Allah alone?" They replied, "Allah and His Rasul knows better." Thereupon the Prophet ﷺ said, "It means to testify that none has the right to be worshipped but Allah, and Muhammad ﷺ is Allah's Rasul, and to offer praise perfectly, and to pay the zakat, and to observe fast during the month of Ramadan, and to pay al-khums, 1/5 of the booty to be given in Allah's cause." Then he forbade them 4 things, namely Hantam, Dubba, Nakir, and Muzaffat or Mukair. These were the names of pots in which alcoholic drinks were prepared. The Prophet ﷺ mentioned the container of wine, and he meant the wine itself. The Prophet ﷺ further said to them, "Memorize these things, these instructions, and convey them to people whom you have left behind." Hadith number 54. Narrated by Umar bin al-Khattab radiallahu anhu, that Rasulullah ﷺ said, "The reward of deeds depends upon the intention, and every person will get the reward according to what he has intended. So whoever immigrated for Allah and His Rasul, then his immigration was for Allah and His Rasul. And whoever immigrated for worldly benefits or for a woman to marry, his immigration was for what he immigrated for." Hadith number 55. Narrated by Abu Masud that the Prophet ﷺ said, "If a man spends on his family with the intention of having a reward from Allah, sincerely for Allah's sake, then it is a kind of alms, giving a reward for him." Hadith number 56. Narrated by Sa'd bin Abi Waqqas radiallahu anhu, that Rasulullah ﷺ said, "You will be rewarded for whatever you spend for Allah's sake, even if it were a morsel which you put in your wife's mouth, it is a charity." Hadith number 57. Narrated by Jarir bin Abdullah that I gave the pledge of allegiance to Allah's Rasul for the following: Number 1, to offer prayers perfectly. Number 2, to pay the zakat, obligatory charity. Number 3, and be sincere and true to every Muslim. Hadith number 58. The virtue of knowledge. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, "To those of you who believe and have been given knowledge, Allah will exalt them in rank, and Allah is aware of what you do. So say, O my Lord, increase my knowledge."